New MCAT Cram, Biology Flashcards, Card 1, Striated Muscle Structures. Striated muscle is muscle tissue in which the contractile fibrils in the cells are aligned parallel to bundles, which you can't see here, but you'll see a little bit later on, so that their different regions form stripes, which you can vaguely see here, visible in a microscope. Muscles of this type are attached to skeletons, okay? So another term given to striated muscle is skeletal muscle. And they're attached to skeletons by tendons and thus are under voluntary control. Okay? All right. Delineate the structures of a muscle from smallest to largest. And when I say muscle, I'm specifically talking about striated or skeletal muscle. Okay? I'll give you a moment to think. All right. So the first structure from smallest to largest is going to be the myofilaments, specifically actin and myosin, or the large filaments and small filaments. All right. And myofilaments, as I previously said and as is illustrated here, are primarily chains of actin and myosin that pack and generate a force to move the structures of the muscle. Okay. The next structure or unit is going to be the sarcomere, these isolated units here. And sarcomeres are the structural units of myofibrils. Okay. So that's the third level of structure, consisting of a dark band, and near the half of each adjacent dark band, there's going to be a pale band. Okay. So sarcomeres are the structures of myofibrils, and sarcomeres are constituted by myofilaments, which are composed of actin and myosin, or thin filaments and thick filaments. The next level of structure from smallest to largest is going to be basically the muscle fiber cell. Let's ignore fascicles for a minute. And you can see there are all these supporting structures to keep the muscle fiber cell alive. There's the motor end plate, or the neuromuscular junction, where your muscles conduct signals to your nerves and your brain, or vice versa. There's the muscle cell nuclei and capillaries for oxygen and taking away deoxygenated blood. So basically, a skeletal or striated muscle fiber is surrounded by a plasma membrane, okay, called the sarcolemma. All right, so the plasma membrane surrounding is called the sarcolemma, which contains sarcoplasm or fluid, which is the cytoplasm of muscle cells. A muscle fiber is composed of many of these myofibrils, which give the cells the striated appearance. And skeletal muscle cells are sheathed. That means they're covered by a tough layer of connective tissue called epimysium. Okay. So the surrounding sheath, a lot of times you see it when you eat meat, a thin white film, that's like epimysium, okay? And then the next layer of structure is the fascicle, and it's just, constituted by several muscle fibers, and it's surrounded by the endomysium, okay? All right. Now the next level of structure after the fascicles are the actual muscle, the striated muscle that we can see on a macroscopic level with the human eye, and that's surrounded by the protective sheath, the epimysium. Okay. Whereas fascicles are surrounded by perimysium. Okay. All right, so that's that.